Today we're going to make smashed potatoes, and I'm going to show you my two favorite ways to flavor them. I know a lot of people have this recipe on their page, but I haven't done it yet. I just realized that. So we're going to start with some of these little duo potatoes. You should be able to find these in any of your supermarket. They're like little Yukon Gold. They're two different colored potatoes. You got a red one and a yellow one, but they're both a nice real waxy interior, which is what you're looking for in a dish like this. So we're going to throw these into a pot of cold water. I'm trying to make one baking sheet's worth, which will be about 12 potatoes. So once I get that amount in, I'm going to throw it over on the stove, bring it up to a boil, and let those cook for about 15 minutes with a little bit of salt in that water. While that's happening, I'm going to prep the sides that I flavor these with. We're going to need some chives. Here's my fun little favorite trick to cut chives. Roll them up in a very small strip of a wet paper towel, and that will hold them and keep them from sliding away. You won't cut yourself, and you'll get a really nice even cut because you don't have to worry about keeping them stationary on your cutting board. Once you cut up all those chives, that little bit there will be fine for the 6 potatoes I'm going to put them on. Throw them into a little prep bowl and put those off to the side. Now we're going to need to melt about 2 tablespoons of butter, and to that we're going to add 4 cloves of garlic. This mix here is going to go on all of the potatoes. It's just a real nice base to help them get that crispiness and garlic flavor. Push that off to the side when it's done also, and this is where you should check your potatoes. If your fork slides in nice and easily like that, they are done. So we have a nice lined silicone baking sheet here. I oiled it a little bit as well, but it is very nonstick, and you're going to see these potatoes are going to slide around as they cook, which is a little bit of a problem. But now just throw those onto the sheet. Use a little bit of parchment paper and a meat tenderizer or anything else you want to just smush these down. They should smush very easily. If you don't, you need to cook them more. That first one was maybe a little bit too smushed. You're looking for maybe a little smaller than that. You want the potato to almost double in its surface value when you push it down. That right there is perfect. You want it to stay very well connected because then they won't break up as they cook or when you serve them later. But go around, do that for the whole tray. I rotated colors, but you don't need to do that. But you can see the general vibe. They're all a fairly similar size. And now I'm going to coat them in that garlic butter. Try to get the garlic pieces also because they will brown as you cook, which will add great flavor. And once you do that, throw that into the oven at 450 degrees and let these cook for about 25 minutes. Right there is what I'm looking for. You could see the sheet kind of warped when they get hot. You know when the baking sheets bend. That pushed these all in one direction because they're so slippery that they just kind of slid from gravity. But these are about 3 minutes out from being where I want them. So I'm going to coat half of them now in some parm, and this is going to be a garlic parm flavor. The other 2 rows will be sour cream and chives. We won't dress those until they're totally done. So now throw that back in the oven for about 5 more minutes. And that is exactly what you're looking for. You got great browning around the outsides. So we're going to let these now cool down for about 5 minutes. You don't want to be putting sour cream or anything on them while they're super hot. I'm just going to space them out a little bit. And that'll also allow them to crisp up a little bit while they cool down. Adding on that sour cream, we're just going to put a little dollop. If you want to spread it out thin, go right ahead. I just try to wait a little bit because if you put this on while they're too hot, that sour cream is just going to melt and become a mess. Coat it with those little bit of chives, and there you have your 2 varieties of smashed potatoes. Very easy. Total, this takes about 30 minutes. You got garlic parm, which are delicious, and then you got those delicious sour cream and chives. But most importantly, let's dive into them. These are just a very unique kind of flavor. You get a very crispy edge, but it doesn't taste like a French fry or many other kind of potato things. The sour cream and chive one really does kind of remind you of a baked potato, but the garlic parmesan melted with that butter and nice and flattened out, it's a very unique taste and flavor that I absolutely love. So you need to give these a try and let me know what you guys think.